Hey everybody, I'm Jack Rita. I'm a designer of the ECAS and Moritani expansion, which is the third expansion for the classic Dune board game, the 2019 edition from Gale Force 9. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about one of the variants from that expansion is something called discovery tokens. And we're going to focus on a specific token today. It's one of the high regs, and there are 4 high reg tokens. And up to 3 of them randomly could be added to the board. So the idea with the discovery tokens is there are special spice cards that when drawn will have a spice blow, and they will also indicate the location of a discovery token, either a high reg token or a smuggler token. The high reg tokens, high reg is a Chickasaw word for Fremen camp. So it's something that's going to be found in the desert. And the smuggler tokens are in mountain rock regions. Just one thing I wanted to point out, since this is the first one where we're going to do a deep dive on a high reg token, is that the design of the high reg token is a little bit of an Easter egg, and I've challenged people in the past to tell us what it is, and I'm going to go ahead and reveal that now. So spoiler alert, if you don't want to know what that design is and want to sort it out on your own, go sort it out. But for the rest of us, if you are familiar with Frank Herbert's I, which is a collection of short stories, but the first of which is in the Dune universe, and you look closely, there's a Fremen on the cover, and it's got this little thing on there that has a similar design. So that was the inspiration for the design that Solvay did on the high reg tokens. You can see that the backs of the smuggler tokens have a little bit of a guild thing going on here. And one of the things that the high reg tokens do is when they're placed face down in that territory. But the Fremen, if they are in the game, they can always peek at a high reg token and know what its effect is. Now, the way the rules work is you have to go into the territory that the high reg token is in. And if you are still there in the spice collection phase, meaning that if other factions were there, you would have had to battle them and survive. In the spice collection phase, you get to peek at the token, and you can decide if you want to reveal it. Now, once revealed, all of the Fremen ones are considered territories in the territory. So one of the locations where a high reg token could be is Meridian, which is at the bottom of the map there. And if this token is revealed there, then it becomes a location within Meridian. But upon reveal, a faction can move into that token at the start of the next turn before the storm moves. So the reason for that is one of the high regs is a stronghold, and we didn't want people to discover a stronghold and then just win the game by occupying it at the end of that turn. So you occupy it at the beginning of the next turn if you so choose. And that helps to deal with that problem. So let's focus in on one of them, and this one is the Shrine. Now, the Shrine is also its own Easter egg. It's got the Truth Trance silhouette there, and it's surrounded by these symbols, and these symbols are an Easter egg from the original Avalon Hill Karama card. And so the reason for that is that you have... if you occupy the Shrine, you can play a Karama card as if it were a Truth Trance, or you may play a Truth Trance as if it were a Karama card. So that is it's a nice effect. There's also, you can see that the cover of the expansion is basically the Shrine. So it's a statue with the Karama, all of the Karama symbols around it, a couple of Fremen heading there to the Shrine. Of course, in the background, we've got Moritani setting off atomics in a stronghold. More on that in a separate video. So occupying this can be very useful. And so it's important to know that you're playing Karama as a Truth Trance. If you are the Bene Gesserit and you're playing Advance, a Bene Gesserit can play worthless cards as Karama cards. So the question is, can they play a worthless card as a Truth Trance if they occupy the Shrine? And the answer is yes, absolutely they can. So this is a great stronghold, not really stronghold, but great territory for the Bene Gesserit to occupy. But it can be useful for anybody. In fact, sometimes it's useful just to keep other people out. The stronghold rules apply to the the high-reg tokens. These are territories. You can ship directly to them once they're revealed, but only 2 factions can be in there, and that is largely because this is not the actual token. These are my extra big versions for my double-sized playmat. So the real tokens are much smaller, about half the size of these tokens. You really don't want to try to fit 3 or 4 factions inside a shrine. It's just not big enough. So only 2 factions can be in that territory. Other factions could be in the territory around it. So if this is in Meridian and it's revealed, even if it's not revealed, you can have any number of factions in that territory. After it's revealed, you can only have up to 2. But remember, you can ship directly to it. And when these are located, it now makes getting around the board potentially a little more interesting, although it is a territory within a territory. So imagine that there's a ring around this. If you move out of the shrine, you're in Meridian still, and then you'd have to move again to leave. So you win some, you lose some for there. So that is our first discovery token. I will do a separate video on all of the other discovery tokens. We're going to go through all 4 of the high regs first, because once again, these are all going to be in desert locations. So Garakulan, Meridian, say I'll go east. Those are the 3 possible locations, and they're indicated on those spice cards. But again, only 3 of these. So they're at the beginning of the game, you got them shuffled. You don't know what you're going to discover because you have to go discover it. So it might be something else, but if it is the shrine, that is how the shrine works. Karama, Truth Trance, they can be played interchangeably as one or the other. And then we'll get into the effects for the 4 smuggler tokens and how those differ from the high reg tokens. If you have any other questions, let us know in the comments. And if you have had a chance to play with discovery tokens, let us know what you think of them. What do you think of the shrine if you've had a chance to see that in play? It does, of course, require you, if you want to get anything out of it, to either have a Truth Trance or a Karama. But there are 2 Truth Trances and 2 Karamas in the game if you are not the Bene Gesserit. And so that's 4 cards out of, sure, 50 if you're playing with everything. So still not a very high percentage, but I have seen it used on multiple occasions. So it is nice. And if you have one of those cards, it's nice to have that flexibility. So you might want to go, once the shrine is revealed, go head over there and try to occupy that thing. So that if you're like, well, I got this Truth Trance and I know I could use it for this, but maybe I want to stop somebody else's faction ability, that could be more useful to me in a given situation. Or get a free treachery card instead using your Truth Trance. It all depends. Depends upon your needs and the situations. Changing your tactics throughout Dune. That's how you win Dune, if you're able to pull that off. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. That's it for this one. We'll see you again soon.